Love them or hate them, but on March 11th, 2025, Southwest Airlines, at least as we know them, died. Beginning on May 28th, 2025, Southwest is destroying everything you loved about them. Let's break down all the things that are changing at Southwest, what it means for you when traveling, and what I think the ultimate impact may be. Longtime viewers of this channel will know I've been a huge fan of Southwest for decades. It's my second most flown airline. The last time I covered them for a review on this channel, I was incredibly upbeat, so I'm all here. Let's start with the big one, no more free bags. 2 free bags was what made Southwest unique. All airlines used to give you free bags. Check bag fees in the US only began in 2008.
Bag fees in progress, let's move!
Southwest never budged on that commitment, at least until today. There's a lot of advertisements that need to be coming down now, and even whole planes that need to be repainted. A-list preferred members, business select fares, and credit card holders will get 1 free check bag. We don't yet know what check bag fees on Southwest will be. Now you might say, who cares? I never check bags, so it won't impact me. But it does! Bag fees means more people will carry on bags, meaning less overhead bin space for you, more gate check bags, and more delays. Yes, some of the 737s have the new Sky interior with larger overhead bins, but a lot of the older planes have the much smaller overhead bins. Next is that the wanna get away fare is going away. They are replacing it with basic economy. No, not adding basic economy as a cheaper option. Doesn't everybody love basic economy? And before you type in the comments that prices will go down when an airline introduces basic economy, no they don't. We've seen this before when Delta, United, and American did it. Go look at the prices before and after Southwest did this on the 28th, and you'll see that basic economy price will be the same as wanna get away. In every instance where basic economy is introduced, you get less for the same price you would have paid before. Southwest already said that they are getting rid of open seating beginning in 2026. Southwest's open seating policy is truly unique and many people love it or hate it. But the fact remains, you're gonna be paying for something you used to get for free. Southwest used to have the most generous cancellation policy in the world, where if you cancel a ticket, you'd get a credit that never expired.
Fly on your schedule.
Well, that was too good to be true. On non-basic fares, credits will expire after 1 year, reverting to pre-COVID policies. For basic fares, credits will expire after only 6 months. To be fair, most basic economy tickets on other airlines are non-refundable, so you need to give Southwest some credit. I'll give them 6 months worth. What about earning rapid rewards miles? With no notice on March 4th, 2025, wanna get away fares, and likely soon to be the added basic economy fares, earn only 2 points per dollar, down from 6. Wanna get away plus earnings went down from 10 to 6. Anytime tickets earn the same, and Business Select was the only fare seeing a bump from 12 to 14 points per dollar. This policy applied effective immediately to tickets already booked, an incredibly skeevy move. Only 5 months earlier, Southwest promised they would never do this. How bad is this change in practice? Well, let's say you're a business traveler with top-tier status, A-list preferred, which comes with a 100% bonus on points earned. If their company mandates that they book the cheapest fare, and most do, they'd go from earning 12 points per dollar down to 4. Why the heck would anyone want to pursue status at this point? But at least the points you earn are worth a lot, right? Southwest touts the fact that you can use your points on any flight. True. But the value of Southwest points, which ostensibly are nothing but cash back, has been devalued about 43% in the past 12 years. And buried in the announcement is the fact that certain awards will cost more points per dollar while others less. That's right, dynamic pricing. But that's incredibly silly, as Southwest gives you a roughly fixed value per point. So if the ticket costs more dollars, it already costs more miles. It's just yet another way to give you less. The points are literally worth less. So what should you do? Well, as much as it pains me to say this, there is absolutely no reason or no point of flying Southwest over another airline. Let's compare. Delta has free Wi-Fi, in-seat power and entertainment, lounges, first class, and partners. Yes, Sky Pesos are nearly worthless, but not much more so. Alaska has in-seat power, lounges, first class, and partners. Their miles, for now, can really be valuable. JetBlue, they're really struggling now, but even they are offering in-seat entertainment and adding some lounges. United is reinventing itself as a more premium airline, with free Starlink Wi-Fi, in-seat power and entertainment, first class, lounges, and international partners, though United miles have been seriously devalued. American, I can't believe I'm saying this, but even American now somehow beats Southwest. The new Oasis interiors on American are terrible, but some Southwest planes have them too. And currently Southwest has more legroom, but as the seats are reconfigured, that won't be the case. American has in-seat power, lounges, first class, and some pretty great partners and use for their miles. Hell, even Spirit and Frontier will soon be more premium than Southwest. Spirit has big front seats that now come with free Wi-Fi. Frontier will be blocking middle seats up front. Southwest has absolutely nothing that will make them unique at this point. So why are they doing this? In their own investor presentation, Chief Transformation Officer Ryan Green showed the internal estimates that eliminating free check bags would cost them money, as the $1.5 billion in expected bag revenue would be offset by a loss of $1.8 billion in lost customers. So why would Ryan okay this? Well, he didn't! He was fired! Elliott Investment Management has taken the helm at Southwest, wanting them to make more money and buy back stock. None of these decisions seem to make much sense to preserve the existing loyal customer base. But that's the thing, that's the point. Southwest, as much as people love it, is really struggling financially. They don't want you, the existing Southwest flyer. They want the person who's never flown Southwest because they can't reserve seats. The person who books basic economy through Expedia. Their hope is that if they can retain enough of their existing customer base while spitting in their face, they can pick up a larger, mythical customer base. But we've seen this before, most prominently in media. Abandoning your core audience for a theoretical new one hasn't really worked out in the past. Perhaps it will work out for them. The US has had 3 types of airlines up until this point. The big 3 with large networks and premium options, the low-cost carriers, and a customer-friendly lane. Up until this point, Southwest and its brand have been unique and not in direct competition. Now they will simply be a worse version of all the other airlines, with nothing differentiating them. It's as if Elliott Investment Management asked ChatGPT how to run an airline. Just instead of how to implement basic economy, they got how to basic. So what am I gonna do? Well, I've got 18 flights already booked for this year, and not a single one is Southwest. I guess I'll fly them once for a review once the new seat assignment becomes a thing. Southwest may have been the largest domestic US airline, but now I honestly think they may not last the decade, and standardizing the monetization may be the first step towards a sale or a merger. We shall see, but for now, I want to get away from Southwest as much as I can. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, click that button. Please subscribe for many more flight reviews to come. I'll see you on the next one.